Hey loves, this is Bobby and I'm here with another video. And this is going to be my birthday book haul video. Yes, my birthday was almost a month ago, but what can I say? I did order myself quite a few books and it took a while for them to get here. So yeah, I am staring at this stack and I really didn't think I got that many books, but apparently I did. First off, I got myself an entire Tolkien Middle-earth series. You can check out my Tolkien book haul that I did for Tolkien Day last month, which I did during March. I will link that up above. But yeah, I got all of those books as well as some really cool dust jackets, and I got the books for those. So all of those books I did by myself. I treated myself for my birthday. But yeah, these are other ones that I got as gifts, and I bought with some of the gift cards that I got, as well as birthday money. So yeah, I have a ton of books here, so let's get started and make this hopefully a fast one. Some of these books I don't know what they're about, so it'll be a surprise to us all. The first one was one of my book swap partner books, and I really hope I didn't put this one in a vlog. Some of these I might have talked about, but I don't remember which ones I did and which ones I didn't, so I'm going to just go through all of the books that I basically got in March. The first one is Teen Killers Club by Lily Sparks. This is one of my book swap partner gifts, and this follows the story of a young girl who gets framed for her best friend's murder. In this world, though, anyone under 18 who gets sentenced for murder, they end up going to this kind of sleepaway camp where they get trained as assassins. The only thing is that once she gets there, she kind of pulls this ragtag group of kids and they kind of all become friends, and she's like squeamish of blood and she's kind of bubbly and fun. I'm really curious to see how this goes. This next one was another swap partner gift, is Prey Drive by Wrath James White. This is actually a sequel I think I got, because when you look up this book, it doesn't come up that they're sequels, but they are sequels. This is the second book. I need to get the first book, but I really want to get into this series. This is an extreme horror book, so this is not for a lot of people. This does deal with cannibalism. I don't want to read what this one is about because, like I said, it's a sequel and I do not have the first one and I've never read the first one. But I have heard some really crazy things about this series. They say that the writing is really good, but it is very, very graphic, very kind of horrifying, straight up horror dealing with cannibalism. I'm hoping they say this is just like extreme horror, which I do really enjoy, so I can't wait to get this. I need to get my hands on the first book because I really, really want to read this series. Okay, and this next book was a gift from my friend Emma. They are such an amazing and sweet person, and they sent me a few things off of my wish list, and I was so excited for these. You're gonna notice kind of a horror theme going on for me. I have no idea why, but I ended up with a bunch of horror books and I'm so ecstatic for that. And this one is Ritual Human Sacrifice by C.V. Hunts. This is another extreme horror. I have joined a horror group on Facebook a couple months ago, and I've been getting a lot of recommendations, and I've been seeing so many recs going on in there, and I've been adding a lot of horror lately. I've been in such a mood for it. I think too, since getting really into Junji Ito, I've been loving it. I love the whole extreme horror. I love body horror and everything like that. So I have been feeling it a lot lately. So my wish list was shifted a lot from like fantasy to extreme and just straight up horror anyway. But yeah, I was so excited to get this one. This is one of the newer ones I had just added to my wish list. It got rec to me on Facebook, and this follows the story of a man who he is kind of just an ass. He's really bitter. He wants to divorce his wife, and the day he decides he's going to tell her he wants a divorce, he finds out that she's pregnant. So he ends up moving them without talking to her to the middle of this like middle nowhere new town, and everyone around them seems to be like really weird. This kind of gives off Rosemary's Baby vibes, but I don't know exactly where this is going. It's very, very vague on it, except for, you know, the whole ritualistic human sacrifice. But I can't wait to get to this at the same time. Like, I'm very interested. So if you've read this one, definitely let me know if it was horrifying, because it seems like it is. And that's what a lot of people said when they recommend it. It's like a really, really gory horror type of screwed up book, which I like. So that works out for me. These next three books are all from the same author. This first one is another one that Emma gifted me, and that is Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. I am trying to collect all of Junji Ito's books. I absolutely love his artwork. All of his books have been 5 or 4 stars. I have loved them all. My favorite is still Uzumaki, and then probably Gaio next. So I just want to collect all of his books, and I cannot wait for this one. I don't know. This has to do with something about a school. And I think they're all short stories if I'm not wrong, but I might be. Because I know a lot of his other books have to do with, like they're all like shorter stories in a volume. So I'm really excited. And also I found it weird that this one says March 10th on here. My birthday's March 11th. So hey, it is like destined for me to read this a day off from my birthday. But yeah, I can't wait. The art in here is already creepy. We got a lot of body horror, and if I have time, if I could get this onto my readathon from April, I definitely will. If not, if I have just a couple extra minutes, I will probably just read this, because I will finish it very fast. This is a graphic novel, so I will finish it super fast, but I cannot wait. The next one I got was... This is one of the ones where I'm not sure if I actually updated into a vlog when I bought it or not, but if not, I'm going to throw it because I did buy it for myself as a treat. And that is Smashed by Junji Ito. This is another one of his collections. This has 13 different stories in it, and the art is crazy looking. The cover is crazy looking. I am very excited for this. And third, for the Junji Ito kind of book haul that I have going here, I got Frankenstein and Other Tales. This has his take on Frankenstein, and then there's different stories in here as well. I actually really hated Frankenstein. I had to read it in high school, and it is one of the only times in my life where I had to use like SparkNotes just for the book because I could not read it. I hated it. I do want to try doing a reread of it, but doing it as an audiobook. I find that books that I either had a really hard time with or I didn't like in the past, I really enjoy as audiobooks. So I definitely want to do that one as an audiobook, as well as Dracula. I think I got like 10 pages into Dracula and then I stopped. I really want to get into that one as well. I want to read all the classic horrors, or at least do audiobooks for the classic horrors, because horror is such a fundamental part of who I am. I love horror movies. I grew up on them. It's a huge part of my life, and I want to go with all the classics because all of them is where we've got to. No matter what horror it is nowadays, they all have their basis in one of these classic tales. So I'm really excited to get into him doing Frankenstein. If I do enjoy it, I'm definitely going to check out the audiobook for the original book. And I don't know what the other stories are in here, but I cannot wait because the art is crazy, as always. Okay, this next one was one that I actually won from the horror group that I am on in Facebook. They did a kind of raffle. I won. I was very excited because it has to do with one of my favorite things, and that is Chewon This. This is a collection of short stories from different authors. The authors on here, though, on the back, it is written like a menu. So each one of the authors has like a cool little take on their names. I'm hoping it has their actual names. Yeah, it does in here. But yeah, these all have to do with, I think, cannibalism, or somewhat that's what it is. But it is a horror anthology from different authors. I always like anthologies, but I never have the best of luck. There's always going to be some stories that I like more than others, but I'm really interested in this one. These are all indie authors. This is an indie book completely, and I want to read this as soon as I can, since I was gifted it, and I want to be able to review it to thank them for giving it to me for free. The person that was doing the giveaway, they lived near 2 of the authors who contributed to this, so they got it signed for me on those author stories. So I thought that was really awesome, and I really want to say thank you by reviewing the book and everything. And I love cannibalism, so I'm very excited for this. This next one is one of my all-time favorite books, and I have wanted this edition, and I had a coupon, and I also got birthday money, so I just treated myself to it. I finally said, you know what? Just get it. And that is the illustrated version of Good Omens. I absolutely love this book. I've been wanting to do a reread of it since last year. I just haven't got a chance to, so I definitely want to get this somewhere in this year if I can. And I love this. The artwork in here is so freaking good. And I love this book though. I read it a couple years ago and I just thought it was amazing. It made me laugh. I was really invested. But Neil Gaiman is one of my all-time favorite authors. This is the only book though I've ever read by Terry Pratchett. I do want to get into his work. I want to get into the I don't remember the name of that series. That's like 20, 30, 40 books long. I really want to get into it, but I know there is a reading list. You don't have to go to that series in order because it's broken up so many different ways. I have a picture that someone posted in a Facebook group years ago about like how if there are certain characters you'd like to read first, to read it in this order. So I definitely want to get into that. That's one of my goals for, if not this year, definitely next year. I want to get into I think it's called Color of Magic or something like that, but his whole universe, I want to get into it because I really enjoyed the writing in here, so I am so curious to see how his actual writing is by himself. I've heard nothing but good things, so I cannot wait to reread this and then get into Terry Pratchett's work. Neil Gaiman, I've read tons of books by him. I own tons of books by him, and I've got still tons of books by his that I want to read. Okay, this next couple books are all pure aesthetic picks for me. Like I said, I got gift cards and stuff, and I went into Barnes and Nobles. They had opened and everything, and I happened to be by one. And if you can't tell, I collect the Barnes and Nobles editions. I just think they're absolutely beautiful. So I spoiled myself and bought a couple of them. They have two different versions. They have the hard back ones, and then they have some that are a little they're not paperback, but they're like not as sturdy as a hardback. I don't know what they're considered, but I bought two of them. The first one is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories by Robert Louis Stevenson. I have actually never read The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I know the story. I know everything about it. It's been referenced so many times. I've actually just never read it. I am dying to. It was always one of my favorite kind of like tropey things that happens when people kind of do like a remake of it. I always really liked it. I think it's such a cool concept. So I cannot wait. I do want to do, like I said, with the classic horrors, I would love to do the audiobook for these and just enjoy them. So yeah, this one, I really just liked them. But like I said, these are the ones that are like, they're not hardback. They're kind of like flimsy, but they're still really beautiful. I love the spines. That's the thing. Like, yeah, you can have a beautiful cover, but sometimes the spines need to be beautiful because that's usually what I display because I do not have enough room on my shelf to have the covers out on my books. But yeah, this one was just gorgeous. The next one that I got was The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This is another one where I have actually never read. I know the story. I've seen it referenced a billion times in my life. Just never got around to it. I am so excited to finally read this. This is another one where I would like to do the audiobook before the end of the year. And it's just so beautiful. I love purple is one of my absolute favorite colors, and I love the way purple and gold. I don't know if you can tell it's gold, but purple and gold, and then it's got these really cool green pages. So yes, another beautiful one. This next one. Okay, at the beginning of the year when I read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, I mentioned that I always thought that book was a lot bigger than what it was because I always got it confused with another book. And my ding-dong self actually ended up buying. I wanted the Barnes & Noble edition of The Art of War. They have a really cool one. It's with the Art War and like other Chinese legends, I believe. It's a really cool one. I wanted that one. And when I saw this one, I was like, oh, cool. They must have updated it. Because if you don't know, Barnes & Nobles, they do update the covers on them. I have American Gods, and I want American Gods, the new one as well, because it's a really cool cover. Yeah, I'm one of those. But so I ended up doing that. And when I got home and I looked at it and I'm like, I'm a ding dong. I freaking bought the wrong book, but it's still beautiful. And like I said, these are purely aesthetic for me. These aren't ones that I tend to actually read them because they're just too heavy. I have always wanted to read this book. It's one of those great classics of the universe that you should read. So maybe I finally will, since now I own it. And that is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Yeah, I thought this was I was going to say War and Peace. I thought this was The Art of War, not War and Peace, but it is absolutely beautiful. Look at those colors. So, like I said, I don't read these, so it's not that big of a deal, but I was just laughing at myself because I did it again. I always got those two books confused just because they both have, I guess, the word war, like Art of War, War and Peace. It's just, I always interchanged them my entire life. So yeah, but it is beautiful. So I was going to keep it anyway, because like I said, it's for the shelf. Let's be real. So it looks beautiful, and the blue is stunning. This next one, I read this book when I was really, really young. I think I was in the maybe 5th grade, 6th grade. I've never reread it. I don't remember any of it. I've seen the movie a bunch of times. It was absolutely wonderful. I want to reread this book, or I would love to do the audiobook. Classics, I do like audiobooks for, because I do struggle with classics. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Yes, I know. I'm not a huge fan of classics. I just struggle. The only author when it comes to classics that I seem to truly enjoy is H.G. Wells. But I did really like this book when I did read it when I was younger, so I would like to do a reread of it so I can see how much and now that I would probably understand a lot more of it, how I like it. And that is The Phantom of the Opera and Other Gothic Tales. I'm not sure what other tales are in here. It just says with stories by Edgar Allan Poe, Mary Shelley, Horace Walpole, J. Sheridan Lee Fanu, Arthur Machen, Clark Ashton Smith, H.P. Lovecraft, and Gaston Leroux, obviously. But yeah, I would love to see what other stories are actually in here. Not that I would be reading this one physically, but I am curious. I always like to see what books when it comes to classics, which stories they decide to add to these and other stories too, because as them all being Gothic tales sounds really cool. I love Gothic horror, so Gothic just fiction would also be really cool. But look at this. It is absolutely beautiful. It's going to look wonderful on my shelf. But yeah, I really want to do this. When I saw this one, I didn't know they had made this one. So when I saw it, it made me go, you know what? I really got to reread Phantom of the Opera, because it was a wonderful book when I read it when I was like in the 6th grade or 5th grade. I think it was 5th grade, 5th or 6th. I know I was young. And I probably missed most of what was going on in that book. But yeah, I think this is gorgeous. This one I did buy correctly, unlike War and Peace. This next one is the last of the Barnes & Noble ones. I did not get this one at Barnes & Noble's. When I went to the antique swap meet, which I posted a video in one of my vlogs at the end of the month, a seller had this and I got it on a amazing deal. And since, like I said, they're for my shelf, I definitely did it. I have no idea what the series is. It is a classic. Even the lady, she's like, oh, this is such a good series. And I was like, oh, really? I buy these for my shelf. And then she gave me very judgmental eyes, like, oh, you're just buying them for your bookshelf. It's like, lady, I read a lot. I probably read more than what you read in a year. But I like pretty books as well. So stop judging me. And that is Isaac Asimov's The Foundation Trilogy. I have no idea what this is about. I'm assuming it's sci-fi, but I don't actually know what this is at all. I've never heard of it. As if you don't know, I love sci-fi movies. I've never been huge when it came to sci-fi books, and I have no idea why. Every time I do eventually read them, I love them. But I just never got into sci-fi books for some weird reason. I am now, and I'm loving every single one of them. So I would love to read this. This comes with Foundation and Empire, and Second Foundation. If you've read this series, definitely let me know if it's something that I should bump up my TBR. But again, purple, my favorite color. It's absolutely beautiful. And I only paid $9 for this when it goes for $25 at Barnes & Noble's. So yay. It is cool. It is beautiful. And now I might have a new series that I can get into, or at least start and never finish, because if you don't know, that's what I do. I like to start things and not finish them. But yeah, I cannot wait. Okay, and for the last and final book, and this was one of the ones I was super excited for. I was hoping it was going to arrive in time for me when I filmed my Tolkien book haul video, because this is another Tolkien book, but it didn't get here in time. I think it got here like 2 days after I had already filmed and posted the video, so I was a little sad about that, but also it's so beautiful and just pretty, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. If you don't know, I collect different editions of The Hobbit. I have a great many of them. I honestly don't know how many I have at this point. I have now made my way over into the different translations of it. I think this one is Finnish, if I'm not, or Danish. I can't remember which one it is. And obviously I don't read the language, but the artwork is so beautiful. It's so poppy and colorful and everything about it. And it has wonderful artwork on the inside, which is by Tove Jansson. I know is a person that does a really popular cartoon series that I've actually never seen, but someone had posted this in one of the Tolkien groups that I'm in on Facebook, and I fell in love with this edition. I thought it was absolutely stunning. But like I said, look at how cool the art is, and I even found one that I would love to get tattooed on me. The barrel scene in The Hobbit is one of my favorite scenes. I love it. It makes me laugh. It's just wonderful. And then after doing the reread of The Hobbit, I did the audiobook for the first time by Andy Serkis, and it was just so wonderful. And when it came to that scene, I remember how much I love it. But I love the illustration in here. I actually might get that tattooed on me. I'm very much a spur of the moment thing. If I find something and I love it, I will totally get it tattooed on me. Yeah, you know, people that tell you like, hey, you should plan out every single one of your tattoos to like for years and you should know. No, I'm one like, oh my god, I think that's cute, let's get it tattooed on me. My mermaid that I have on my arm, I fell in love with the picture, and literally like a week later I got it tattooed on me. So what? But yeah, I have now made my way into the different translations. I'm purely buying these with covers that I really love. There's so many different editions. I don't know which one I will get next. I know they're releasing a really beautiful edition from Waterstones coming this year, and I might get that one. I don't know, but it's really, really pretty, and I need all of the editions because they're so good, and it's one of my favorites, like one of my all-time favorite books. But yeah, I love this. I thought it was really, really cute, and like I said, of course, I guess I need more copies of The Hobbit because like 12 of them isn't enough. But there we go. There is my very long and very all over the place, book haul. I hope that was everything. I feel like I'm missing a book or two, but I don't know what they were. I might have read them already, but I don't know. But yeah, there we go. That's what's what. As always, I'm Bobby. I will drop all those social media links down below. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe. If you've read any of these and you think I should definitely bump them up on my list to get to sooner, definitely let me know that. I always love recommendations from people. So take care, and as always, happy reading. Bye.